Hi everyone, I'm Cody W3AMG with BridgeCom Systems, and today we're going to be showing you how to program a local repeater into your new BridgeCom Maverick radio. So it's relatively simple, but we'll walk you through the steps and some areas you might go wrong in the process. So first up, we've got a radio here. I've gone ahead and turned it on, and I'm going to plug it into our programming cable, just like that. And we've got the other end of this plugged into our computer. And now you can do this on the radio if you're in a pinch. But it will be a little bit easier through the software, especially since we're going to be getting some of that information off of the internet in this case. So we've got our software open. It's always a good idea to read from the radio. So go ahead and click on your COM port icon. In this case, I know it's COM 6, but if you're not sure, just unplug your radio and plug it back in and you'll see it pop up there. Click OK, and then go ahead and read from radio. There we go. OK. And I'm just going to say OK to everything. This doesn't have much on it at the moment. Perfect. There we go. So this is all set up here. This is going to be very similar to how you would take this out of the box if you haven't had any programming done to it. So we've got a radio all blank here. So if we go ahead and double click on one of these boxes, this will bring up the screen that allows us to do the programming. So this is going to add a channel here. But before we fill this out, we actually need to go find the local repeater that we want to program. So I'm going to get out of here a second, and we're going to open up a web browser. Now, there's all kinds of different ways you can find repeater information. So however you run across your repeaters that works for you, that's fantastic. Now, in this case, I'm going to use a resource called Repeater Book. It's a fantastic place to be able to find all kinds of local repeaters. It's a pretty nice resource, so I definitely recommend it. And you can literally just type in whatever you're looking for. So in this case, I'm just going to type in Kansas City here. There we go. And let me see if I can find one that we can just program in here real quick. We'll try something out. How about, here's a VHF, just a basic FM repeater. How about this one? We won't be able to probably hit anything here in the studio anyway, but okay, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and program this into our radio. Now, it's always a good idea to pay attention to the notes. Sometimes they have information out here, you know, on what the repeater's for, how it's meant to be used. So before you go jumping on a repeater, definitely a good idea to find out how it's meant to be used and make sure you're using it appropriately, especially when we get into the digital repeaters as well. Sometimes, you know, there's one time slot or a different time slot used for different things. So you want to pay attention to that and just be mindful and respectful of the repeaters out there. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and copy some of this information over. So this is our downlink. So what that means is that's coming down. So think of a repeater is going to be up high. So the downlink is coming down to our radio. That's going to be our receive frequency. And then the uplink is our transmit frequency. So we're linking up to the repeater. So we've got those here. And then some repeaters, probably most, are going to have a tone. So think of this almost like a password. This is just what allows it to only communicate with that. It's a real easy way to describe it. So you have to have your tone set correctly in order for this to all work. And so in this case, we have the same tone for uplink and downlink. Sometimes it may only have one, and sometimes it potentially could be different on uplink and downlink. So this one's pretty simple. It's the same for each. So let's go ahead and get to programming. Okay, so our downlink is 14694. There we go. So we'll just go ahead and start adding this. So we can do, we can give it a name. So let's see what our name was. There we go. We'll copy this info over. 14694. So our channel name up here. And then there we go. And it'll automatically finish the zeros for you. So just fill out what you need and it'll do the rest. And then our transmit frequency, we are at 14634. There you go. And then in this case, this is we can tell by the information out here, this is just a basic analog repeater here. So in this case, this is not going to be digital. So we're going to make this analog. There's no mention of it being digital here. It's just an FM repeater. So we'll go back in here and we're going to make this analog. There we go. And then we need to set our tone. We're going to come down here to the CTCSS/DCS encode and decode. So that is basically the tone that we're looking at. So we can do a CTCSS. We'll just do that for both. And that's going to allow us to set our tones. So those, I believe, were, let me double check. Yep, we're at 88.5 on each. So we'll come back over here, 88.5. 88.5 and 88.5. Boom. So we've set our tones. We're good there. And then, let me see. And then we've got our power. You can set your power to be whatever you'd like. So if you're really close to a repeater, you might not need much. If you're further away, you may want to crank it up more. On these radios, your max UHF power is going to be 6 watts, and the max VHF power, in this case, will be 7 watts. So that's in turbo. That's going to get you the maximum power. For what we're doing, we'll just leave it at high. That's fine. If you're not real close to your local repeater, you may want to crank that up. Typically, personally, what I do is just program a button on the front to cycle through the power, so that way I don't have to use more power if I don't need to, but if I need to crank it up, I can. And then there's one other thing you may want to check here, your bandwidth, so 12.5. I believe we are going to want 25 on this, so we'll go ahead and change that. And you can check that here on Repeater Book too if you're unsure. That's going to be your standard wideband. There we go. Yep. Potentially you may run into something else in some crowded areas. And so there we go. So at this point, we pretty much got everything set up on our repeater, our local repeater channel here. We'll double check this, and any other things you may want to add in here, feel free to tweak, but that's going to be the basics for an analog channel. Now, if you want to add this to a scan list, which we will actually have to do, or not a scan list. So that's pretty much going to be everything you need to program this analog channel onto your radio. So let's go ahead and get out of here. And there's one more step we need to do before we can see this on the radio. So we actually need to add this to a zone. So I'm going to go over here to zones, and I'm going to make a new zone called local repeaters. So we'll do local. I think we got that right, local repeaters. And then go ahead and click on your channel that we just created and move that over to the zone. And I'm going to say OK, and boom. So we have a zone and we've got that first channel, and as we build more local repeaters into our radio, we can add them to this zone and cycle through them. Now, as you start expanding into more areas, you may make a zone for this area, and then maybe make a zone for a different area. And then for digital, there's it opens up a whole nother realm of how we're going to operate with those local repeaters. But for the basic analog repeaters, this is how I like to do it. And then all we have to do now is just write to radio. So go ahead and click on your COM port button, make sure we're still hooked up. We are. And then go ahead and write to radio. There we go. And we don't need to worry about the contact list for this. Boom, there we go. So we have just written this information to the radio. So we'll check it out here. Once it's finished, we'll unplug the radio. Okay, and there you have it. So we've got it turned back on. Now we're going to go to our channels here so we can see them. And there's our first zone. So that's just got all of the factory built-in stuff in it. So we're going to click the zone key here to change our zone. And boom, there we have our local repeater zone. And we have our newly programmed local repeater right there ready to use. Hope this helps. I'm Cody W3AMG 73.